baby steps. All right, so first off, okay, so to start achieving goals, okay, you have to make a goal, right? I mean, you can't really get your goal done if you don't actually have one. So this can actually be harder than it sounds to make a goal, I decided. Oopsies. And because I always think, oh, I'll make a goal this week, but it doesn't always happen. So right now I want you guys to all get a piece of paper and write out your goal in your notebook right now. It can be big or small. And I also want you to write out, if you can't think of a goal, you can write out, my goal this week is to make a goal, which sounds kind of silly, but it's I think that we should all try to make a goal this week. So, let me see. And then when you're done, just put it in the chat box or say I'm done. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next slide. Okay, so let's say you make a really big goal. Okay, so for example, your goal could be to deep clean your room. That's a goal I have a lot. Now, maybe your room looks like this. Luckily, this isn't my room, but your room may be really messy, and this goal can be really overwhelming when you think about it, because when you think you have to deep clean all of that and get rid of all the clutter. Okay, so this, there's clothes on the floor, the bed's a mess. So the goal is going to be overwhelming, and what's going to happen is you're just think, okay, next week I'll do this goal, or tomorrow, or next week, and when next week or tomorrow rolls by, you don't actually do it because you think, oh, tomorrow I'll do it, and it doesn't ever happen. Make sense? So because this goal is so overwhelming, you don't actually want to have to ever start on it. Okay, so this week we're talking about a technique I call the baby steps, and you may have heard different techniques. This is what I call it. Okay, so first you're going to dice up your big goal by making lots of little goals. So for example, let's say your big goal, okay, we're going to use the example of deep cleaning your room a lot. So let's say your goal is, so Sunday you can just set a goal just for that week. So the whole goal isn't going to be, this week I'm going to deep clean my whole room. You could say, I'm going to deep clean my desk, or I'm going to clean my desk off. So this was my desk. It's not very pretty, but yeah. So that could be like you're just going to clean the desk that week, okay, instead of trying to have to do your whole room. Now, you should do the baby steps with the end goal in mind. So, for example, week 1, you could have, you're going to clean your desk. Week 2, you're going to clean your closet. Week 3, you're going to clean the corners, okay? So, to have this all in mind, that it's going to lead to a nice, clean room. Whoops, sorry. So, it's going to lead to a clean room. And so it's nice to have the end goal in mind, because sometimes you're doing it and you just have to think, I'm all doing this so that my room can be really clean, and that's what I really want. Kind of like a way to motivate yourself almost from doing what seems like tedious work. Okay, so now we're going to talk about teeny baby steps. So I don't know about you guys, but this desk looks kind of scary. I mean, you've got pencils, books, jewelry, animals, tons of hats and stuff back there. I mean, it looks pretty nasty. And so what you're going to do is you're going to break up your baby step into what I call teeny baby steps. So what are teeny baby steps? So I'm going to tell you what a teeny baby step is. So you start off to make your teeny baby step in the morning. So the beginning of each day, write down the step. So for example, Monday you could write, I'm going to clean the jewelry box. Tuesday, I'm going to clean out the drawers. 3, throw away the clutter on the desk. This is just for the desk, okay, not for your whole room. Okay, so I have my jewelry box on the desk. Okay, so if you have a mini calendar, so they're like these little, they have like daily planners and like, you know, plan out every day. That's also really good. Or you can just write it on a piece of paper that you can see. And that way, the desk, you can break that up. And so instead of it being, because the desk could easily take you half an hour, but by breaking it up, you can maybe break it into 5-minute increments or 10-minute increments. And so it's a lot less overwhelming. Okay, so another example is, so we talked a lot about the desks and stuff, but this can be used really well for school. So for example, the goal could be to get all my stuff done. And so maybe that's not a huge goal that takes weeks and weeks to work on, but let's say you have all this homework due Friday. So what you can do is, for example, Monday, you put down, okay, I'm going to do math, history, science, then Tuesday. And so you give yourself sort of like a schedule so that it gets done, and a guideline of what you're going to do. And then, you know, if you want also to the side with school, you can write down, you know, other goals you have. Like, for example, you could write down, oh, I'm going to clean the jewelry box today. I'm going to clean the drawers today. So it's really good. You can just kind of make a list of what your goals are for that day. And that's kind of like the teeny baby step concept. Okay, so here's the review. So first, you have at the beginning of your tower, you have your big goal, right? So which is deep clean your room in this case. So you make your goals by writing them. Writing them actually helps a lot. It may seem like writing them is kind of pointless, it's a waste of time, but it really helps because otherwise you might just forget, and it kind of makes it more official, if that makes sense. So then you're going to break up your big goals, and so that's going to go into the baby steps. So the goal can take anywhere from 2 weeks. A big goal can take any amount of time, but the baby steps are usually about weekly. So again, it kind of depends on what you want to do, but a baby step can be weekly. So like every week you're going to work on a big chunk of your room. And then the teeny baby steps are daily. So at the beginning of each day, you're going to write, okay, I'm going to do the jewelry box. Okay, so just it kind of gets smaller and smaller increments. All right, so that's all for now. So does anyone have any questions about anything? Yes, Rochelle.
So I can't raise my hand because I'm the host. I guess I should have made you the host. But anyway, so I think that for my book, which is to finish my, for my goal, I mean, it's just to finish my book, I think that maybe kind of my baby steps would be like writing more of an outline of what the rest of the book needs to be and like what each chapter is going to be about and stuff. So that's I'm probably going to do.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Writing outlines can be hard in books, but yeah, that's really good. So instead of just saying I'm just going to write a whole book, you know, it's like it's good to kind of have a plan of what to do. That's a lot of how the breaking it up can help. And of course, if you have a small goal like gonna make my bed every morning, you know, that's for a week, then, you know, you don't really break that up into steps. Like, okay, at 9 a.m. I'm gonna put the pillows on in the right place. You know, that's not really something you break into steps, but that's more if you have a big goal. And so I thought about having us do an activity. So if you want, you can stop the recording, Rochelle. That's all for the lesson. But